I know this is our last session, and I just, want to, I'm interested in what your thoughts are in this last session that we're together.
Well, I'd really like to continue our relationship, Natalie, because I feel like we have so much in common. I can share with you things that I've never told anybody, and I'd just like to continue our friendship outside of this.
Being completely honest with you, I need to tell you that that puts me in a difficult situation, and I think that may become problematic because although I find you also, as a good person and a good-hearted person and everything, I feel that at this moment, at this time, I think it may be too soon to perhaps engage in anything.
Well, what if we just like go jogging
anything.
together? There's this great trail by my house, and maybe just a couple mornings a week.
I just feel awkward about that.
You have an issue of a client wanting a social relationship with her therapist, wanting a friendship. What do you see wrong with that, if anything? How do you think Natalie handled herself as a therapist?
In that particular role play, I felt that there was something underlying going on, that maybe she wanted to remain comfortable with me versus rather than going out and initiating her own friendships with perhaps past friends, or maybe relationships of other friendships that maybe have not worked out, or even initiating friendships with other people, versus rather than wanting to, initiating with me, and so she could be safe and remain in what's familiar and comfortable.
So you would be picking up more on the clinical issue of what it means, and you see, and that would be very crucial to pay attention to. The other one would be if you ignored that, and if there's anything there, and you just notice that, and maybe agree to become her friend, how much that might become an ethical issue because you're ignoring it, not more, as you're saying, a deeper issue.
Although the ethics code doesn't say, does it, explicitly, socializing with former clients is not appropriate. It doesn't say that. It's rather silent on the matter of socializing with former clients. So supposing the client says, well, let's wait a month or 2 or 3. I'm in no hurry, but sometime I'd like a different kind of relationship with you. Let's say you're relatively the same age and you have similar interests. Would any of you be inclined then to say, okay, let's get back together and talk about it in 3 months?
I think it's also important who initiates it, if it's the client or if it's the therapist, and then whose needs are getting met.
So would you see a problem if you as a counselor frequently or as a pattern have done this?
Definitely.
So you all would?
Yeah. That's where self-monitoring and self-evaluation come into play, like we were mentioning in the previous section with what am I doing, why am I doing it, is in the best interest for the client. And maybe perhaps the counselor looking within themselves, self-introspection, and saying, well, what about my own friendships in my own life, my own personal friends? So I think that would be...
See, that's one of the things that Jerry is saying. It's the pattern. How often do you do that? And the other one is a reality. I think when you are a counselor, you meet and get to know many wonderful people, and there's a limit to you. Even that reality, that even so, it might be okay for me to eventually make friendships with my clients, maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, but I probably already have a lot of friends in my life. And to maintain friends takes some time.
Would this have made a difference if, let's say, it were a teacher, student, or a supervisee and a supervisor? Do you think that would be different than a counseling relationship? Do you think once a student, always a student, once a supervisee, always a supervisee?
I think the supervisor-student relationship can also reverse itself with changes of position of different people. However, a therapist-client relationship, you have a client who is your client, and it's going to be the last time they're being seen. This is the last session, but who's to not say that they're going to need to come back in the future? And if they come back in the future, then are they going to be able to come to you if you're their friend and have that dual relationship? Or you're going to be comfortable being their friend and then being their counselor or charging them, and you get to know each other on a personal basis. That changes the whole dynamics.
See, again, the other thing that comes up, you might have become friends, and all of a sudden, as several times we've talked about, it's still an unequal relationship. And then are you going to be willing to talk about that if that occurs?